Good day, everyone. My name is Maricel Quincenada, and I am the reporter of Information Processing Theory. So, next, Yen. So, what is information processing theory? It is a cognitive psychology theory that studies mental processes involved in acquiring, storing, and using knowledge. It focuses on the flow of information as it passes from one stage to another within a person's mind. So, when we say processing theory, it is information processing refers to how data and stimuli are received, interpreted, stored, and used by our brains or by computer systems. It's like how your brain takes information from the world around you and also makes sense of it and then decide what to do based on that information. And it also involves stages like input, processing, storage, and output, similar to how a computer processes data. So next, Yen. Next is we have here history of information processing theory. So developed by an American psychologist including George Miller in the 1950s. Miller is a cognitive psychologist and a computer scientist. According to this theory, the human mind is seen as an information processor similar to that a computer. This model suggests that events comprise individual pieces of information that one are processed in stage such as encoding, storage, and retrieval. Next, Yen. So, we have here four stages in information processing theories. Who wants to read the four stages? The first is encoding. Who wants to read? Yes, Ayen.
The first one is encoding. This is the process of taking information from environment and assigning meaning to it. It involves perceiving or attending to stimuli before they can be stored in short-term memory.
So thank you, Ayen, for your. So, in coding, this is the process of taking information from environment and assigning meaning to it. It involves perceiving or attending to stimuli before they can be stored in short-term memory. So, as we experience in our daily life, everything of it entirely involves taking of information. So, meaning to say, the way we view the information from the environment according to the five senses of your body construct meaning to be able to restore it from time to time. So next is the storage. Who wants to read? Yes, Daisy, can you read?
Storage. This is when information held temporarily in short-term memory while it is processed or transferred into long-term memory for more permanently storage.
So do you have any idea of what is storage? Yes, Ayen. Do you have any idea?
So, storage, from the definition, it is just information. We just store the information temporarily, not inang pangmatagalan ba or anong tawag ba doon? Basta yung pang matagalan na hindi natin nakakalimutan. So, it is also, but we can process this into long-term memory for more permanently storage based, or it depends on how our brain works.
So thank you very much, Ayan, for that information. So let's move on to next stages. Next is the retrieval. These stages focuses on assessing previously stored information from either short-term or long-term memory in order to utilize the current task. So from time to time, we are in a situation that we construct knowledge from our previous experience, and that will be the function of retrieval or remember, or you make it to remember you've done in the past, whether short term, which is the latest information, or long term, which your stimulus being triggered by something that is similar to your long previous experience, such as taste, nostalgia, brought by music, and a particular knowledge you being experienced and being imparted by the well-known individual you being valued for a long time. So, do you get it, guys? Or what is retrieval means?
Yes po.
Yes po.
So, let's move on to last part of stages, which is the information. So, who wants to read? Jasmine, can you read?
Information. This is the final stage and involves transforming information into a more useful form, such as organizing it in different ways or using reasoning and problem solving skills to come up with a solution.
Hello. So, information stays as information without transformation, and it must be meaningful, integrative, practical, and being valued. So this will be a sort or a backbone of your knowledge to impart skills that supplies your daily action and to come up with a solution. So meaning to say you are now apply what's with your previous experience, and are you trying to make difference or being greater than what's inside your memory. So next again. So next is we have here the three stages of memory. A huge part of information processing, it is description of memory. The three list of three stages of our memory, that's the three stages of our memory work together in this order. Number one is the sensory memory. Next is short-term memory, and last is the long-term memory. So who wants to read the sensory memory? Yes, May. Can you please read?
Sensory memory, first stage of information processing theory. It refers to what we are experiencing through our senses at any given moment.
So it simply means in here sa sensory memory is yung ano ba yung nakikita natin, naririnig or nasa-sense through experiencing in a given moment. So next, yan. So next is short-term memory. So who wants to read? Yes, Daisy.
Short-term memory. This second stage is the first step for incoming information. It holds only a certain amount of information for a brief amount of time, unless there is a further processing into a long-term memory.
Okay. Who wants to explain the short-term memory? Griselda, can you please explain the short-term memory understanding?
I'm sorry to say this, but the aw is awawing.
So sa short-term memory, it holds only a certain amount of information for a brief amount of time unless there is a further processing into long-term memory. So, ang madaling example nito is like our phone number, di ba? Sa short-term memory natin siya nalalagay. Parang ganon. Do you have any idea, guys? Nang Jasmine, do you have any idea?
For me, when we say short-term memory, ito yung, like for example, dabi, like magpangalap kita ka chismis. So, ang chismis is, ang short-term temporary lang sa bala ka information sa aton isip. Lang, unlike sa long-term memory nga, pwede mo siya ma-retrieve o kung kinakailangan mo yung information. That's all.
Yes, thank you, Jasmine. So, let's move on to the last term memory. Ayan, can you please next? So, this is the last term memory. So, long-term memory, it is in this stage, the information we've received becomes implanted in our minds. There is no limit to amount and types of information we can retain in this storehouse. So, like for example, there is a long-term memory. It's na may ara ka balang memory balas. Like for example, sa inyong friendship na hindi mo bala makalimutan, for example, abe, may natabo sa inyo nga away, tapos hasta yanda, tanim pa rin sa iyong mind. Do, muna sa. Yes, Ayen, are you're raising your hand?
Can I add something for this one?
Yes.
So, unlike the short-term memory, yung long-term memory is that may limitation yung short-term, while ang long-term, we can access information or receive information that we can implant in our minds for a very long time. So, for example, when you saw something, this will remind you sa thing nag-remind sini or nag-stand. So that tells that you receive a long-term, the information that becomes a long-term memory.
So thank you, Jasmine and Ayen, for your comprehensive information idea about this. So let's move on to our next slide. Yan. So why is information process theory important? Number one, it is important tool for understanding cognitive process, the way human acquire, store, and use knowledge. So second is we can better understand how our minds work and why certain tasks require more effort than others. Third is it provides us with valuable insights into the inner working of our minds that can be used to improve education in many different areas. And the last is it can help provide education overall. So next yan. So how can we apply information processing theory? So I have here an example on how we can apply information processing theory. So this theory can be applied in variety of different ways. So for example, it can help provide insight into how student learn and how best or structure educational material for the maximum comprehension. Additionally, it can be used to improve problem-solving techniques as well as understand why certain tasks are more difficult than others and develop strategies that make them easier to complete. Next, Ian. So, how can we improve our information processing skills? So, number one, utilize memory techniques such as mnemonic devices and tracking into order to better remember the material. So, di ba, sa aton klase, do gagamit man ta sini in order for us to nang matandaan bala naton aton mga ginatun-an, gaubra kita sa mga mnemonic devices or mga flashcards kung ga-exam kita. Ang iban sa aton gali. So number two, take notes while studying or reading in order to reinforce important concepts. So, di ba, ang iban sa aton take notes gid while ga study or reading. So number three is break up complex tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks instead of trying to tackle them at once. So number four, make use of various visual aids such as charts, diagrams, and illustration. This can be complex topic easier to understand. So, di ba, sa aton pag-skwilas, gagamit ta sa mga chart, diagram in order for us to easier to understand the topic that we are tackled. So number five, stay focused on the task and hand by eliminating distraction, setting, and aside enough time and adequate. Next year. Yay, tapos na. So do you have any questions regarding to our class today?
There's none po.
None, ma'am.
Yan, ma'am.
That would be all. Thank you everyone for attending my report. Bye-bye.
We can now
Bye, ma'am.